When artificial intelligence first read the ancient scroll buried by Vesuvius's eruption 2,000 years ago, researchers expected to find ordinary philosophical musings. Instead, the machine deciphered chilling predictions about our times, described with terrifying accuracy. And when scientists double-checked the results, it became clear the ancients saw our future with frightening precision. 79 AD, Vesuvius awakened like a true monster. Herculaneum died instantly, a giant wave of superheated gas racing at hurricane speed at temperatures over 900 degrees Fahrenheit. The city housed an amazing library with hundreds of priceless papyri. Within seconds, the entire treasure trove of knowledge turned to black charcoal. Any touch, and the ancient text crumbles to dust. In March 2023, a team of researchers announced the Vesuvius Challenge with a prize of over $1 million. The task sounded fantastical: read the scrolls without touching them. Scientists X-ray the charcoal pieces, creating virtual slices. Artificial intelligence was taught to see traces of ancient ink hidden in what looks like stone. In October 2023, student Luke Ferritor became the first person in 2,000 years to read a word from the charred scroll. Porphyras, meaning purple. By early 2024, they had deciphered over 2,000 letters. This turned out to be the work of philosopher Philodemus, but between familiar reflections appeared chilling predictions. Philodemus wrote about eras of fire and oppression, when authorities killed truth-tellers. Particularly frightening was a fragment about strategic silence, how rulers force silence not through bans, but through fear. Most importantly, Philodemus died long before the eruption, meaning he was predicting the future. Artificial intelligence finds the same pattern throughout the ancient world. In December 2024, new decryption algorithms discovered phrases in Sumerian tablets that modern scholars interpret as possible descriptions of complex biological processes. 6,000 years ago, Sumerians seemingly leaped from villages to massive cities overnight. Other peoples required millennia to develop writing and laws. With Sumerians, everything appeared simultaneously. By 2023, artificial intelligence learned to translate Akkadian instantly. In Sumerian astronomical records were knowledge that astounds modern scientists: precise planetary trajectories and descriptions of Earth's wobble during rotation, an effect discovered by our science only in the 20th century. In medicine, they described antiseptics, pulse diagnosis, understood heredity. Artificial intelligence found detailed descriptions of devices creating electrical current. Enheduanna, daughter of Sargon of Akkad, became history's first poetess. Between scientific and political texts, she predicted times when the sky changes face, Earth forgets laws, and the wise must stay silent to survive. This sounded not like poetry, but like serious warning. The most intriguing discovery, Sumerian texts describe how they created humans by mixing clay and divine essence. The Anunnaki allegedly experimented, creating and modifying the first humans. Artificial intelligence finds phrases like essence mixing, prototype productivity. This sounds like a genetics lab report, but there's a frightening coincidence. Now, in 2025, temperature records precisely match predictions about the 7th era of fire. Artificial intelligence compared dates. 4,200 years ago was a global catastrophe. Drought, empire collapse, mass migrations. Sumerians recorded the water cycle returns every 7th era. One cycle from that catastrophe, 2025. Nushu, the secret women's language from China, concealed even darker predictions. Women created their own writing system, passing it from mother to daughter. In 2025, artificial intelligence deciphered 50% of texts. There were warnings about iron tears from sky and phrases: when fathers and sons take lightning, daughters will weep blood. On Easter Island, Rongorongo writing contains symbols for end, fire, silence next to explosion images. A fragment read, "Round boat carries son of the dead. Ash will cover 3 worlds." The island is isolated, but symbols say the same. War, fire, end of world. Today we live by ancient script. Russia against Ukraine, China preparing for war over Taiwan, NATO against Russia and China. Maya wrote, When two suns shine in sky, one must dim. If neither agrees, both will burn. Ancients predicted information wars. First words become weapons, then weapons become answer to everything. Look around. Fakes through social media. Algorithms pit people against each other. Every country has its own version of reality. Ancient Greek fragment. When truth divides into tribes, lies become king. But what's scary isn't that they predicted conflict, but that they knew no one would listen to warnings. Chinese oracle bones contain chilling descriptions. Disease with soul born from stone. Breath that disobeys gods. Artificial intelligence classifies this as descriptions of artificial pathogens. Tablet from Nippur. They will mix life and death in one breath. Call it medicine. It will be curse. Now in biolabs, scientists work with pathogens beside which COVID-19 is a mild cold. Ancients knew how it would end. Etruscans understood the connection between breath, blood, and consciousness. Their texts were banned as dangerous to order. What if knowledge was destroyed not from superstition, but because it worked too well? The Baghdad battery, an ancient artifact that, when filled with acid, actually generates electrical current. Sumerian texts mention vessels of light and procedures with flowing forces. In Egypt's Dendera temple, hieroglyphs depict giant light bulbs with filaments and insulators. Ancient civilizations were so advanced that we're only now catching up. Maya warned, when fire learns to think, wise ones will break tools. Today, our fire is artificial intelligence, creating deadly viruses in hours, designing weapons. Tablet from Eridu. When servants become masters, Earth will demand purification by fire. We create gods from silicon, thinking we control them. Ancient gods were keepers of knowledge about catastrophes. Enlil understood atmosphere. Enki controlled water. Ninlil preserved memory of the past. But then, old gods of wisdom lost to new gods of war. Akkadian text. When Earth became deaf to wisdom, gods left, leaving only words for those who remember how to read. Today, our gods are algorithms. We program them for victory, not wisdom, for profit, not survival. Artificial intelligence finds one pattern in all ancient texts, a cycle, always ending the same way. First knowledge, then pride, then silence of the wise, and finally fire, real fire, turning cities to molten glass. We're now in the silence phase. Scientists' warning about catastrophes are ignored. Ancients left detailed maps with warnings in all languages. We ignore them, thinking we're special. The last phrase appears in different cultures. When words are spoken again and no one turns away, there will be fire. Sumerian tablet. Circle closes when last wise becomes first fool. Mayan inscription. Time is wheel, fire is axis, silence is what remains forever. Chinese inscription. Daughters weep because sons don't listen. These messages were buried in ash, speaking not of eternal life, but of a cycle, always ending in fire. We've restarted the cycle. Artificial intelligence continues reading new warnings, and all say one thing. Time is up. The circle closes. We heard, deciphered, understood. But it's already too late.